demon.
That's a great place to start, babe. What's up? What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the podcast, Guardians of Venus. I'm here with Ellie, my sweetheart. How are you?
I'm
How are
good.
you
How are
doing?
you? I'm
I'm
just super
tired,
tired.
babe. Oh my God, we both said it at the same time.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
most tired. You
hmm
can hear it.
Yeah, we're
Well,
both kind of in the strange weather changes and yeah, going through spiritual upgrades every single day. So, sometimes we just feel low energy, but I think we're going to deliver some good value today. You guys can ask us any amazing questions. I just want to share this with the tribe before I forget, because, um,
you
yeah, that's always a thing.
can,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
yeah, go ahead.
sorry. It's just glitching for me as always. So you
Oh,
can ask absolutely anything you want, everything you can ask.
yeah. All
I'm
right,
okay. I
cool.
don't bite if it's not necessary.
Right. If it's not necessary. For
Yeah.
sure. So today we wanted to talk a little bit about that negative inner voice in your head, like the inner critic, you could call it, the inner sabotager. Uh, yeah, th this voice comes up quite a lot. I've noticed, especially for mystics, because we do a lot of work internally and like looking at ourselves and so forth. So yeah, I think it's a really important topic for us to discuss. And
Yeah.
I think the only voice that matters is that inner voice because we're not our job, we're not the money we make, we're not our status or someone's opinion, but
Yes,
that voice is like our compass in a way. So we have to silence it at times. What do you think about that, babe?
of course, Sabu babe. Yes, that is so true. And also, I'm on those pills that makes my mind kinda also negative. But I realized yesterday how to calm me down even when I'm on my pills. So it may remove your negative thoughts, mind. So yeah.
And what was the technique you learned?
Yeah, my technique. It was, I realized when I'm listening to really loud music, my negative mind will slow down. Like really, when I'm talking to myself in my mind, it will just slow down, and then I'll forget about it. And even better is when that music is the kind of music that you can sing with it, like
Yeah.
lyrics, and it is with lyrics. So yeah, it's much better. And as I said before, I'm on my pills, so it's much harder for me. So and even when I'm on my pills and it works, I don't know how to say that. Is it right? uh, it may work even better when you are not on them pills.
And these pills are like they affect your like kind of levels of mentality, hormones, kind of gives you side effects, right?
Yeah, but sadly, I get most of the side effects than actual effects I have to have.
Because
But
you're
yeah.
hypersensitive to energies too, babe. So you're taking more of the pill, maybe. It's like you're feeling the effects double or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just guessing.
Not
But
sure,
yeah.
not sure.
But I think success without having an identity sometimes becomes a trap. Um like comfort. Like it's good to be comfortable, right? But at the same time it can become the killer of your potential because you're still in the
Mhm.
same loops and things like that. And that voice can make you get stuck in that similar pattern or that, similar loop. So, yeah, fear can be a parasite or your greatest teacher. It's like how you're using that inner voice at times. I like to
Yeah.
change the pitch of the voice to very high pitched. So then it sounds like a cartoon. Right? It's like you can't do this, like a really high pitched voice. And then I go, okay, I don't have to listen to this. I can kind of back away. I can zoom out from this. But I love that idea you gave, babe, of the loud music because the lyrics then become like a mantra, right, for you. And it's like you keep going back to it, even when the
Yeah,
voices come. Yeah.
those frequencies, they are the same like mantra. This mantra
Yeah.
is, I don't know how to say that, how to explain this. It's the same like with people who believes in Illuminati and people who believes in angels. Illuminati
Mm,
and angels is exactly the same. It just Illuminati is for atheist, we can say, and angels are for religious people. Same like other religions, they have different gods. No, we all have
mm.
all Vishnu. Everyone says
All
all Vishnu,
Vishnu,
as I
yeah.
said before. Yeah. So
But weren't the
what
like
is it?
the So
What?
I just have something to say on this, babe. So that kind of idea of wasn't these kind of secret societies meant for the good, like originally, and then they got converted by humans into bad, similar to religions or similar to like the Freemasons, Rosicrucians, all of these different, mystic societies, I guess you could call them, or like secret societies. They originally probably had a good intention, but then people changed its meaning into bad or
Yes,
negative. Yeah.
because lots of people wants to be leaders, wants to be they are
Mm.
dominant and they're trying to be mm, up.
Yeah. It's a different way to go up. Where, yeah, everyone
Yeah.
has a different way to go up. That's true.
They, yeah, they took Mystica, and Mystica is older than Jewish and then old Islam. Mystica is
Mm,
the oldest. It was even before Aesop. It was when Earth started also
mm,
Mystica went. And yeah,
yeah.
they started to taking that Mystica because yeah, Mystica and Ayurveda, I don't know how to say that in English.
Ayurveda.
Ayurveda,
Yeah.
yeah. It's we can say almost the same. Just Mystica is more for Europeans because of nature, and Ayurveda is for more like for Indians. But right now, when we are mixed as something, we are really mixed right now.
Right.
We people are really
Super
mixed.
global.
Also, we are sending lots of DNA there. We are just really
Right.
super mixed. So Ayurveda works also for Europeans too.
I
Mm.
honestly have this perspective, babe, that we are all mystics in a certain way, but we're pretending that we're not. Like, wouldn't you
Oh,
say that everyone kind of has the ability to tap into Mystica if they want to? Like, they have the potentiality, but not everyone chooses it.
yeah, exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And the magical
Mm.
way is almost the same like Mystica, but magical way is much more dangerous, as I said before.
Risky,
Also,
yeah.
yeah,
Right.
it's very risky. It's faster. It is. It is faster,
Hmm.
but much more dangerous.
Right.
For example, my great grandma, she was a big magician, and
Yeah.
because of that, she was trying so hard, so fast to go there. She died at like 30 or 20 something years.
Wow.
She was super young, and she
Mm.
can't be born anymore. When we were doing that energy connection with her, we found out, me and my grandma and also my dad, we are trying to connect with her, and we found out that she can't be born anymore, but maybe she will in the future, but she right now she's in jail.
Mm. Astral
So
jail or something. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. Damn. Well,
astral
I think
jail.
also Mystica is also very much about like having those direct experiences. It's not so much about getting more information, right? Like stacking knowledge. I know there's mystical knowledge out there, but it's also like gnosis or like the direct, like feelings during your practice, like actually feeling it and actually having a connection with the divine using the
Mm.
practices, right?
Wait a minute,
So,
please.
all right. So the inner noise is almost sometimes a very big obstacle. So to become a mystic, sometimes we have to bypass the external noise of the world and then also the inner noise. So there's a stillness beyond the noise where I think the mystic lives, where, you know, they serve without ego. So there's I think the mystic acts out of compassion and direct experience. Direct experience, I mean like just very in the moment experiences. Like we crave that,
Mm.
you know?
Well, you are talking with really hard words for me. I will try
Yeah.
to understand. uh, what did you say? Compassion? Or,
Yeah, so I think the mystic doesn't act with an attachment to getting results, right? They act from the heart. They act out
ah,
of compassion.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
exactly. But we have lots of different mystic people. Of course, everyone
that's
makes
true.
mistakes, even biggest mistakes ever. They also make mistakes. For example, in Mystica book, I really wish I could translate that book for you to you, but really,
Mhm.
it's a big secret that well, in that book is also written. Once one man mystic was talking to God. He was asking him, how many lives do I have to be born to go to you, God? I'm trying, I'm doing everything, I'm doing every meditation, I'm doing every concentrations, I do everything what you want. Why am I not in on your lap yet? And God
Mm.
told him that he will be close to him after like six lifetime. I have to say that 6 lives. After 6 lives,
Yeah,
he will be
six
with him.
lifetimes
And
or
he said,
lives. Yeah.
yes. And he said, "Oh no, it's so long." Oh, 86. He was just complaining about that. And
Yeah.
then another mystic came, and he was also kind of trying to concentrate, meditate, blah 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 blah. And he asked God, how many lives does he have to do to come to God? And he said, uh, this many how are lives on this on
Three.
this tree, yeah, on this tree. How many leaves are on this tree? And that other mystic said, this many. And that mystic who asked said, "Oh my God, it's just a bit." So the God said,
Hmm.
"Okay, I'm taking you with me. You just have to be patient and always positive."
Yeah, that's the big tip for people listening is the patience element. Because we
Yes.
all want to rush to the end of the finish line and be like, mission is completed, you know? However, yeah, I think it's important to sort
Ciao.
of like sort of like uplift yourself, but then also uplift others on the journey. Like, because mystics often teach other people, right? Or they become teachers in a certain way.
No, no, no,
Um,
no, no. No, it's not true. Well,
mm,
sorry. Mystic people are not teachers. They are only students.
students,
And
right?
yes, yes, they are students of Mystica. Big mystic people are already actually uh, never, how to say that, immortal, they never die, never live.
Immortal.
So, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, but yeah, that is true that some of mystic can be also teachers, but only a bit. Not every
Yeah,
mystic is allowed to teach.
right.
Mostly mystics are self self students, self teaching, and or they are students of mystic people, etc, etc, you know. But
Yeah.
also some of mystical students can be teachers of mystica, maybe in the future, or they can start even now when they are students. Well, I also want to say something to other people. If you don't understand what we are talking about, it means that it's not allowed to you to for you to know that. So no judging, it's just destiny.
Right.
It's just
Yeah,
destiny.
I was listening to this podcast this morning, and there this guy was saying basically that there's higher beings sometimes, like there's gods, but then there's also like higher beings that reincarnate on this earth, kind of like through their big talents, like let's say Mozart or somebody popular, some kind of celebrity is like kind of a higher being. And this was a Hindu podcast, so it's not
Yes.
directly related to Mystica, but I think it was really interesting in that he was saying that even though they have this great talent, they still find it difficult to communicate with other people because that they're so in their own worlds and they're not used to being in with other humans. So
Yeah.
if they come to this world, they'll be so confused and isolated and feeling lonely and all these things. So would you say that's a
Mhm.
very common thing with mystics, is to
It's
experience this kind
very
of,
common.
yeah,
It's the most common thing ever. Being judged by others, being not really loved.
yeah,
Or you can be very loved because you know how to talk with people, but
right.
you have just fake friends or
Mm.
judged, mainly being judged.
Or people
The,
can misunderstand you as too arrogant or too this or too that, but it's not the case in a sense, which I thought was
yeah,
it spoke to me a little bit. Yeah, very
yeah,
interesting.
that is true. That is true. But also about the mystic, what I want to say. Yeah, that what you said about Hinduism. Yes, actually, Mystica is connected to Hinduism very much, and they also took informations from Ayurveda, Hinduism, etc.
Yeah,
And yeah, as you said, mainly artists are very connected to spirituality. But art,
yeah,
art is not only about drawing or making music. It's it's
mm,
also fighting. It's also sport. It's
yeah,
also cooking. Everything
right,
like this. It's art.
totally. And I think a lot
Yeah.
of artists that come into the world who make great masterpieces, and you're like, wow, they're like so, unique. But then their regular lives are very poor, right? Like their relationships don't work or this other thing isn't happening for them. So it's like, yeah, it's good to reflect on this really. I
But
also
actually,
really like,
I'm sorry.
well, yeah, I was just thinking about this idea of like people retiring, like when they what is your perspective of retirement, babe? Like when someone just kind of gives up on their eventual goal? Because I've seen a lot of studies where after retirement, people like start to diminish their life quality. But my father is retired, for instance, but he's still doing projects with his own meditation group and he's moving his creativity forward, let's say. He's not ending his life, as you retire. So what is your perspective on retirement.
Well, with age, it just fade away. You are not productive your whole life.
Mm,
But if you are retired in early age, it means that it's just not good for you. How to say that? It's just not your thing that you are supposed to do. It's just not your. I don't know how to say that.
mm. Not
Well,
your
and I
destiny.
also
Yeah.
wanted to say we kind of
Yeah,
how
we
to say
went
that
everywhere. Yeah.
we kind of mixed everything up. Which is okay.
Hmm.
Everyone who is supposed to know, they will know. That it's just that's what God makes us to sound very interesting, very mixed. Just because we are not allowed to say everything, just God
Yeah.
does that automatically. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
If I could speak English perfectly, uh, I talk a lot, so it will be very dangerous. And yeah,
I got you.
about about
It's like a
those artists.
sensor. Yeah.
Yeah, God is always telling me, stop saying that, because every time I want to say something, I know how to say that in English, but then what? You know what I mean? I just can't say that.
Yeah.
I just can't
You
say
feel a
say everything.
resistance. Yeah, I get what
Yes.
you mean. I've been thinking about this idea of like, living my life like a movie that if I could rewatch that movie, it would be very exciting for like a different version of me, let's say. Like if I were to live this whole life, right, and then be able to replay it back, would I enjoy my life? Would I wa enjoy watching myself evolve, through the journey of my life? I was just thinking that. And in terms of like the inner critic, imagine if you had a narrator, right? Like someone speaking as you're doing something, like Ellie is about to drink her chicory. Like imagine imagine if there was like a voice like narrating everything for you. Well, that's kind of how it feels like when your inner voice, your inner negative voice is saying that's not possible or you're not good enough or whatever it's saying. It's sort of
It's
like a
depression.
narrator. Yeah.
Your inner negative voice is your actual depression.
Mm, yeah,
Not
yeah.
every
So
depression
it's
is the
your
same.
it's almost like your depression is manifesting through a voice. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, you're inside. Yeah, I
Mm,
sorry,
mm,
I forgot to say that you said that uh, bigger artist doesn't mean that he's more spiritually connected. You don't have to be big artist or something to be closer to God. No, no, no. It's just uh, even if you are the smallest artist ever, you are still very connected to God. And actually, I found out that the less you are popular, more you are connected to God.
mm.
Because
Damn.
not because you are arrogant or something to God. No, no, no. It's because you don't have time to think about God. You don't have time to pray. At least praying is actually good. It's actually meditation. Praying is meditation.
Yeah, and everyone's kind of praying to something, right? In a certain way. Like some person is praying to some other higher authority, like maybe they're praying to their boss, like give me this job, or this someone else they're praying to. So I think prayer is just a thing we naturally do, but it's how you're directing it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But every praying is concentration, meditation mainly. It's
Yeah.
meditation.
Right.
About that negative inner child, inner voice. Um, well, yeah, it happens mainly from depression, or if you are long time stress, stress for a real long time, or also if depression. Just I see in that depression. That
Mm.
is depression. When you have really loud inner negative voice, it means that you are really depressed.
Yeah, and then you feel like I have no choice, I have no freedom, and then you start feeling hopeless,
Yes.
and then that
Yes, exactly.
perpetuates more. Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes it even more.
Yes.
And I think it's important to have a pursuit of happiness. Shout out to the movie as well. But I think it's a good idea to have like something you're looking forward to in the future, because that keeps you happy, it keeps you excited, about life.
Mm.
If you're like next week I'm gonna go to this botanical gardens or whatever, you get excited. You're like, I'm gonna go see this thing, right? So I think it's a good
Yes.
idea for everyone to have some goal that's long term that keeps you moving forward so that negative voice doesn't, even if it shows up, that negative voice, you just turn the volume down and then you still keep
Yes.
going towards the goal.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes, exactly. You just have to change your mind. You just have to distract your mind. Same
Totally.
like you are trying to distract your baby from your phone. you
Yeah,
just you
yeah.
just you just you can't just take it from him. He will become aggressive. You have to
Mm,
slowly, for example, play piano, and he will come to you by himself,
right.
and he will leave his phone. It's same with depression. You can't just stop thinking about that. It will go back and even bigger. because it will be, you will say to yourself, oh my god, I failed to start thinking positive about myself. So you just have to do it slowly, and you just have to distract your mind with something. Distract your mind to watch, as you said, to to go somewhere, to
Yeah.
and if you don't have enough of money for that or time for that, if you are, for example, at work and you have that mind, if you can, try to listen to music and try to sing inside of you. If you can't to sing outside, sing inside of you. And if you
Mm,
still can't listening to music, try to remember something positive about your past life. For example, what you did on this vacation, what you did with your friends. Try to remember your rebellious way, what you used to do, and
yeah.
also try to look at your pictures from your past, but not those with sad past. Okay, for example, when you were a child, it's the best. Everyone, I even said that before. It's the best to look at your past you when you were a child, because child, you are still a child, just big, just a little bit bigger, but you're
The
still
bigger
that
child.
child.
Yeah.
You're still, yeah, you're still that innocent little child.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
look at that child. What you hurt him? What you hurt the child?
Mm,
Look at how cute he was, and still is,
mm.
just a bit bigger.
You're right.
That's how you love yourself. Yeah, I said that about depression also before, in podcast before, how to cure your depression. So
Yeah,
you
and I
can check
also
it out.
think like one thing that's coming up for me, babe, is like this idea of don't conform to society, but transform yourself to, be the best version you can be, let's just say, to be the best version and show up as that. Like, let's say someone is like, no, you can't do that, or you can't go there, or you can't do this, right? Then it creates a restriction. But if you are like, I will break out of this paradigm, or I will, rewrite the rules of the game, then it kind of moves you forward, you know?
Yeah,
It's-
but also I just realized, what the hell are they to tell you what you can't and what you can? How
Exactly.
do they know? How do they know that you can do that? How? Because you didn't show them yet? You
Right.
didn't
It's from
show
their own
them yet.
insecurities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not only that, but they think that I'm the best. That means that everyone has to be worse. And but
Right.
actually, when they are talking to you like that, when they say you can't do that, uh, then you will think that yes, you really can do that. So you leave it, and they are bigger and bigger, and that's why they have big ego, because they make you not to be better, and
Yeah,
because of that you are really not better. But how do they know? Nobody knows you more than you know yourself. So talk to yourself. Be your own parent. How you said that also before. Be your
yeah.
own parent. Also, you can imagine your own parents, yourself. I do that really long time, mm,
I
for
used to do
like
that too. Yeah.
I still do that for like 11 years, maybe. I always think that I imagine my own parents, and they look exactly like me, just a bigger woman and bigger man. And I am talking to them, and they are always telling me what to do, and I'm asking them what to do, and they are taking care of me. You can do that too if you are having problems with uh, uh, also it will help you to distract your mind from your negative things,
That's true.
negative mind.
We all
So
have an
imagine,
inner masculine, feminine voice that helps guide us.
yeah,
One is a bit
yeah,
more strict, one is a
yes,
bit more, softer.
exactly.
And yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
I take them as my parents. I said that they are my parents. So
that's
you can
cool.
do that too, and you can talk with them. It's also very distracting for that negative mind. Yes.
Yeah, awesome. I think we're over time, babe. So we're gonna leave it here, guys. If you wanna contact us or you wanna learn
Oh,
more
did
about this,
did someone ask something?
Oh,
I
okay.
think I
Let's
can't
yeah, let's
check it,
check.
but okay,
Yeah,
you
so
check it.
Samba's saying watching with Emily. So yeah, awesome. Very cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And
All
nobody
right.
else? No questions.
No questions, no questions. If they have questions, you guys, if you do have questions about this podcast, you can always click the Telegram link and ask us on that group, and we will reply as soon as possible. So,
Also,
yeah,
I
thank you.
feel that I'm sorry. Also, I feel that the kind of lots of people really want to ask me something, but they are shy to ask this. You can
Mm,
ask me anything. If you don't want to say that in Primal Sutra, you can text me. Don't worry, I won't hide it from you, babe. But I know that you just have that question that you just worry to ask, but you really
yeah,
want to ask. I completely understand. You can ask me anything. Not
awesome.
always I can reply on that, but mostly I will try to. But really, really, I feel that some of people really want to ask me something. I
Yeah.
just feel like that. I just feel that. So
And
you
you
can
also
ask.
saw some visions today for some of the adepts.
Don't
Okay,
say
I
that.
can't speak on that. Okay, okay, okay.
It's well, we can say that to adults only.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but mm, but future always change. So
That's true.
you never know. You never know. But
You
I
never know.
but when I saw in future, you came to my life.
Mm, wow. Yeah. So yeah, let's end it here, babe. So the mission, I mean, the journey itself is sometimes the reward, like it's not the title, it's not the payout, it's the climb, it's the voice that says, let's go again. That's the real, I think, treasure at times. So, yeah, enjoy your life and quiet that little whiny voice in the back of your mind that's always telling you negative things. And make sure the positive voice is louder than the negative. You have
Yes,
to kind of amp
exactly.
it up so that it like swallows that other energy. Yeah.
Yes. But also I forgot this very important to me, for example, also because of them bills, they are really working on my mind. But also you are when you are how you do this, you told me that you pinch your voice and you are arguing with yourself. But for me, when I'm arguing too much that it actually makes me go crazy. So it's
Mm.
dangerous to argue with your mind if you are, for example, weaker or um, not weaker,
Yeah.
just more
Sometimes you
softer.
just have to tell it to stop. Sometimes you just tell it to stop like a
Yes,
dog, that listens to
yes,
you like down. Can you?
exactly, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly, that's what I
Yeah.
wanted to say. Yes, you just have to stop it and distract your mind with something, with music, with a walk somewhere,
Yeah, eat
with
something sour. Yeah, like get into your
so,
senses again. Yeah.
or spicy. It also works.
Spicy. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Spicy food for life. All right. All
Yes.
right, thank you guys. We appreciate all of you. Take care. May the flow be with you and upward spiral to infinity and beyond.